What's up, guys? It is early. It's pre 5 a.m. I think it's like 4:40 a.m. Eastern. I live in New Jersey, EST. Got some banana bread, got some hot tea. I will be eating and sipping slowly because it's still very hot during this video. But today, I want to talk to you guys about Imaginando's new DAW that came out for the iPad, Windows, and Mac. I believe those are the three platforms. I'll be talking about it on the iPad today. And let me move this out the way and talk to you guys a bit about a few things. So let's move the camera or the mirror out of the way. Let me actually close the door over here because the heater just came on. All right. So if you are a follower of this channel, you know that I use Khordgadget a lot. I love making music in Khordgadget more than any other DAW because it is instant, fun to use. I'll probably put this on here because it's like a little bit wet on the bottom. It's instant. It's fun to use. It just speaks to me more than any other DAW that I've ever used. Certainly on the iPad and definitely on the computer as well. And so, as a content creator, it's kind of interesting, right? Because and I'll leave this up so I can kind of read through. This is my first time seeing some of these fixes on the beta here. But as a content creator, it's kind of interesting because I'm primarily a musician, pianist, musician, music producer, and I would say secondary is the content creation. And what happens as I'm learning, I've been doing this for about 4 years now. What happens is that you may have equipment or a software that really speaks to you that you really enjoy, but you feel obliged sometimes to check out some of the new stuff so that you can share it with your audience. And sometimes oftentimes checking out the new stuff results in, time spent to learn it. And then ultimately it's like, oh no, this is not better than what I'm already doing, or this is not more inspiring, let's say, for me than what I'm already doing. And then you don't use it again. You make a video on it or something, and then you just kind of move on. So for me, I am aware of that, and I don't like the idea of partnering with companies and things like that to get access to stuff or to get free product and then feeling obliged to say something positive about it, even if you don't feel. Sorry, there's the alarm. All right, so there you go. I wasn't lying about it being super early because there's my 5 a.m. alarm and I got up before that. But yes, feeling obliged to say something positive about it. And I think it's, I don't want to say a never ending experience or learning process, but I'll say like right now I'm getting there in terms of understanding my role in this space. Let's put it that way. So anyway, Imaginando I've worked with in the past on checking out some of their incredible synths. As a matter of fact, dang, I forgot the name of it already, but let me it's been a while since I've used it. Yeah, I'll know it once I see it. Let's go to this music page over here. Should be one of these in here, right? Is it DRC? I think DRC is Imaginando. Yeah. All right, so this is one of their apps, but there's a couple. You know what? I think FRMS is the one that I really liked. Is that the name of it? FRMS? Yeah. Is this Imaginando too? Or am I mistaken? Nope, this is it. Yeah, so this one. Yeah, they have really cool AUV3 plugins. Let's just put it like that. Let me turn, okay, the brightness is up. All right, cool. They have really cool, AUV3 plugins, and I really enjoy using them. Now, a couple things. So I'm not going to talk about these two in here just yet. Maybe we'll get back to it momentarily. But the thing that is interesting here is when I found out about this app, okay, I have a new MacBook M3, so I was like very much intrigued because I'm trying to figure out if there is a DAW on the Mac that speaks to me. Like I have Ableton on there. I'm still kind of like learning it, trying to get comfortable with it, but it's still not something that's particularly fun for me to use to create music from scratch. It's a place where I could see myself potentially, sending my stuff from Koala Sampler or Khordgadget that I've created on here into Ableton. But I was curious about BAM using that as like a, DAW on my, like a proper DAW on my Mac. So the jury's still out on that. I'm still kind of spending time like learning that and everything. But I have spent some time with the iOS version, and I want to talk a little bit about it before I even dive into it. One of the comments that jumped out at me on I think it was a YouTube video when they unveiled this, like last fall or something, and someone said something about like they compared this to Gadget, and I'm like, cool, you got my attention. I love Gadget. All right, so let's compare the two, and let's see what this kind of can do for me that Gadget can't do, kind of thing, right? So I watched they have a really very good, and I think more companies should do this, but someone from the team, I imagine, because it's on their official account, kind of went through all of the features and stuff for this. And I watched about half of that video, and then I stopped because I was like, all right, I think I got the basics, and now I want to kind of channel those basics, and I want to kind of talk through exploring it on my own on camera, so you guys can kind of see what it looks like, what it might be like for you guys, like learning this for the first time. So not exactly what we're going to do. Now, one thing I want to note is when it comes to Chord Gadget, one thing that I don't think will ever be fixed on that platform is the fact that you can't use other AUV3s within Gadget. And that is, in some cases, a problem. In other cases, not so much, right? It's a problem because I have the things, the FRMSs of the world and these other incredible AUV3s on here that I'm like, oh, I would love to use those. I paid for them, and there's incredible sounds, et cetera, et cetera. On the other hand, part of what makes Gadget so nice is that you are in this enclosed space and you're forced to use what's there, and as long as the workflow works for you, like it's all good. And so I was intrigued, about this being similar to Gadget, but of course supporting AUV3. So that's one piece. And then the other piece, as I was doing this little like investigation and like research and homework on this app, I really like this layout right here. Like, this is very, very similar to Ableton's session view, which I spend 99% of my time in because I just love the vertical workflow, henceforth Chord Gadget, as I mentioned. So let's explore here a little bit. So I have a new project created. If I hit, actually, look at this project name. These are some example projects, actually. So before we even create a new project, let's take a look at maybe one of these example projects so I can talk through a few things. So 909 day 130. Current project has changes. Are you sure you want to load? Yes, I do want to load. So I just loaded a project. So this is a perfect example here, right, of this Ableton live workflow. So if I hit, I'm going to turn the volume down a bit, but if I hit this, right? So you have this first track right here with just the drums, and then it's actually going to play all the way through because I guess it doesn't. Yeah, okay. So let me just see something. I'm going to pause this for a sec or stop this. So it's going to play all the way through because I guess loop is not on, and it's not going to just loop that first section. Let me find where loop is. Not that I need to loop right now, but I'm kind of curious. If I hit tempo, metronome, sync, start top. Okay, that turns metronome on. So there's somewhere on here, there's going to be a loop button to prevent it from moving from this first, let's call, first row to the next. Not sure where it's at right on the home page. I think it should be somewhere here, but I'm not exactly sure. But that's okay. I'm going to hit play again. It looks like it's playing each of these twice. Or maybe more than twice. See? And the little like thing on these numbers here at the very right is kind of showing you when it's getting ready to go to the next section. So this is this view here, and I'm so used to this view, and I love this view. So I was immediately drawn to that. Then you have like this section here. So this section these are the different let's see here, tracks, right? So like this first track is this sound, and they have this sequenced, like on a, what do you call it, like a pattern sequencer, right? Or step sequencer rather. So you have that going on there, and then let me take a look here and see. I'm going to come back up to this first section. See, the first section is just that happening, right? And then it goes to the second section, and hang on. Yeah, there we go. Second section includes that, and then so it's kind of just adding these steps in when it changes to the next scene, from scene A to B to C, etc. Right? So that's what's happening there, as you can kind of see. So that's really cool. Then of course you got like the mixer view and things like that as well. You have a piano roll as well. So it gives you a lot of stuff in here. I also saw this compared a little bit to Nano Studio, which I also used not extensively, but a little bit when I first started making music here. But this kind of, it just looks like it combines, and this is the thing where it gets dangerous, right? When you combine too much stuff into a DAW, sometimes it can feel overwhelming, like the layout and this and that. But I think they did a really, really good job at just giving you the things you need, right? You have like the launcher section, or they call it the matrix here. Then you have like the timeline section where you can do your step sequencing and stuff. Then you have automations, right? So automations I don't usually spend that much time in personally when I'm making music, but it is cool that it's here for, just adding more flavor, I guess we can say, to what you've created. Then you have your composer, aka like your piano roll section. If you take a look at this area here, you have like a lot of just useful things, right? You have a note, you want to send it up or down a octave or something, you can do that really easily. And then you have your mixer page here. So it's a lot of fun. That's kind of like an overview, I guess, right? But I'm going to go ahead and start a new project, and we're going to try to create something from scratch, because why not, right? Are you sure you want to create a new project? Sure. So first thing we're going to do is click this to add a plugin, right? And then we can look at our different plugins here. I'm going to say, you know what? Let's start with a audio unit. And I don't know. So here's the interesting thing, right? You have all these AUV3s in here, and let's go to Sample Wiz. Okay, so we launched this. So we can obviously play stuff in if we wanted, which we might do actually right now, or we can step sequence them. So let's see, if I hit record. Wait, let's hit metronome on. I wonder if there's defaults on here where I can have metronome like stay on by default or something. Not sure, but that's okay. Let's take another piece of this banana bread. It's too early to be having banana bread. 5 a.m. Like I shouldn't have this until like 10 or something, but it is what it is. Hang on, I just yeah, a little piece kind of came loose as it was putting it on my mouth. All right, here we go. Play. So metronome I want to be on. There we go. I'm going to be here. So look at this. That's going. If you have a MIDI controller, obviously you wouldn't have this up so you can see what you're doing more. So that's kind of one thing. All right, it's fine. I was gonna say, like, basically, you know the metronome has two different sounds, boom, boom. So you know when it's starting at the beginning. But if you didn't know that, then the AUV3 is gonna cover up most of the screen, so you don't know. You have to be mindful of that, I guess. Here we go. Okay, I would have thought that would have recorded that right in, but it did not. Curious. Hang on, let's see. So we might have that going. Okay. We might go there. Then we might add some drums to this next part. How do we add a next? We hit plus? No. Oh, plus here. Oh, here. Okay. So look at that. There's plus and then there's duplicate. So if you press and hold somewhere, you should be able to delete. We want to copy, paste, export. We want to clear that. And plus copies it. And then we're in the second section. So from the second section, we may come in here and find some drums, right? So let's go to 2, okay, and then let's hit plus. So we may, let's see, hang on, clap. Okay, so look, you can just hit kick. Let's hit kick and see what happens. Cool. And then we might hit 3 and bring in some type of snare. Okay. So let's turn metronome off. Let's take another sip of tea. So these are some like general drum sounds that you could control different parameters, which is very cool. I like that. So you're sequencing these parts and then you're like, oh, okay, I want to change the way the snare sounds. So let's actually do that right now. Oh, is this not connected? No, it's not. Tap to connect. Cool. Key. Are we? There we go. That's cool. I like that. So then we may come in here and then hit plus again and then do. So I don't know what some of these things are. So this would be one of these experimental kind of things, right? Like you're like, what does Hoffman mean? Well, we don't know. Well, let's click it and see. This is some type of a sound, you know, and I think from here I would probably be interested in trying to figure out. I got to move this out so it doesn't. Yeah, the microphone sometimes this camera will grab that over, you know, over this. We don't want that. So yeah, I want to see how do we get the keyboard, right? If we launched the AUV3, we saw the keyboard show up here. How do we get the keyboard to show up? So let's see. Again, this is what it's all about, right? This is kind of like, it might be helpful even to the team over at Imaginando as a pretty experienced iOS person, as well as, I mean, it might not be as helpful, I guess, to the people who are watching us who are trying to learn just how to do it. But I'll make sure to title this something that's not indicative of this being like a tutorial. This is like a first impressions exploration. That's I don't know why that's funny to me, but that's what it is. It's an exploration. Exploration is like a strong word. It's like I'm like a explorer, like exploring new lands, which, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what this is, right? In a smaller scale, of course. So I don't know how to get the keyboard on here. I feel like there should be, because if I go here, of course, we got this, right? So let's see. That's pretty cool. So that's something kind of going on. Now we can play around with these parameters a little bit. That's cool. All right. So how long is this video? 20 minutes? Oh, okay, we're done. So that is a quick overview. I think if you guys are interested in more content with this, definitely let me know in the comments below. But I think from what I understood, someone also compared this to like having, what is this, like conditional triggers and things like that, which I know that certainly the OPZ that I spend a lot of time with certainly has, but also the person compared it to like electrons stuff, which I have not had a chance to check out yet. But that is also a space where that kind of has a potential to distinguish this as like a really thoughtful flavoring of all of the things that someone like in my profile would find fascinating in a DAW, right? There's going to be the next person who is like, oh no, I don't like this aspect or I don't like that aspect, and that is perfectly fine. I think as I summarize here my soliloquy, is that the right word? I don't know. I think that that, like I mentioned at the top of the video, it's important to be thoughtful about your actions. It is. And what I mean by that is like, okay, I have access, right? So I reached out to BAMs, right? So they sent me this, right? They sent me the code for this, and they sent me the code for the desktop DAW, which I, like I mentioned, will spend some time with and kind of see how using the computer now feels compared to using hardware or touchscreen for making music, which I use, you know, predominantly, like the vast majority of the time. And I think what's going to happen here, right, is I'll spend some time checking this out some more, because basically this has potential to be something that I'm like, oh yeah, I like this, I want to use this a lot more, and that's why I will, you know, consider doing just that. And then, you know, if my community is interested, then I'll be happy to kind of share some of my findings and stuff like that. But in terms of just an overview, I think that's where we'll leave this video. And just a shout out to the Imaginando team for supporting the channel. This is also not monetary, I should say too. I think maybe I should say at the beginning of the video, but not a monetary type of a thing. This is just them sending me the code and me talking about it. And hopefully you guys found some value in the video. Like I mentioned, if there's any questions, definitely let me know. Make sure to get yourself subscribed on the channel, because there's a lot more content like this coming very soon. And would love for you guys to be a part of that journey. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. All right, so have a great one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.